Hi, everyone. My name is Mia, and I'm the director of the Center for Financial Capability.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adam, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Center for Financial Capability.
So, the Center for Financial Capability, or CFC, is a financial literacy center on campus for all students. We're partners in education with the New Sender Credit Union. So, what this means for you is that we have professionals backing us up, and we have their stamp of approval on the content that we're putting out there. So, basically, you can trust us. So today we'll be talking to you about Lobo Connect financial capability. So it'll be kind of a sneak peek into some tips and tricks for financial literacy. And then towards the end, we'll talk more about our services and how we can help you to be financially successful over your next 4 years. So let's jump right in. So the first thing is budgeting. So what does budgeting even mean? Basically, it's a plan. It's a plan for you to know what's coming in, or your income, or what's going out, your expenses. So that way, when you're going into your first semester at UNM, you know exactly what your income is and what your expenses are, and that way you can compare them side by side. A lot of people have a negative connotation to budgeting, that it's something that will basically tell me how to spend my money or not to spend my money. But that's not what it is. It gives you the power to spend your money the right way. So it's still you who decides how you're spending it, but it just is a plan. So that way you're not caught off guard halfway through the semester when you're like, oh, where did all my money go? And now I have all these bills still left to pay.
Yeah. So when talking about budgeting and different things with the budget, one of the biggest things that we like to use is the 50-30-20 method. So this is considered like an element of a budget, and this is kind of how you would want to break down your budget per se. 50% of your spending should be put towards your needs. So, things like food, rent, if you have any minimum payments on like credit cards, things like that you absolutely need to survive, are things that should be in this category. Want should be like the next 30%. There's things that we want to spend our money on that we don't necessarily need. So we do want to put that into our budget so that we're, keeping ourselves happy, but also not going broke spending all our money on this. Another thing to keep in mind is eating at a restaurant, although some might consider that food, it isn't necessarily a need, because while eating at a restaurant is eating food, you could also very easily, or maybe not, but you could also go to a grocery store and get the same kind of food for cheaper. And another big thing that I think a lot of students maybe should pay a little more attention to, and I thought I should pay attention to when I came to college, is savings. 20% of your budget should be put towards savings, because you never know when things are going to happen. Especially this year, a lot of things came out of the blue pretty much. And savings are really crucial as they help you through those rough times, especially when you're unsure of when you might get more money or things like that. But as a college student, we may see that this is what our budget is going to look like a little bit more. 99% is going towards needs. Maybe it's going towards our tuition or just absolutely bare necessities to keep us surviving in college. And the last 1% of money, we don't even really know where that's going. So when your budget looks like this, it's really crucial and important to kind of sit down and take into account everything that's happening so that you can get yourself in a little bit better position.
Right. So you might be thinking that that's all great, but how do I actually budget? So our office actually created an Excel spreadsheet to help UNM students budget their money. And again, this is something that is customized for you. So you'll see a lot of expenses that are specific to a UNM college student. So a way that you can find this website or find this Excel spreadsheet is on our website, which is cfc.unm.edu. So you'll see that listed right here. But when you click on that, it's going to take you to our website, which has a bunch of helpful tools for you. So as you can see, you can schedule a workshop with us. You can even get one-on-one coaching help, which we'll talk about here in a bit. But you can download a budget sheet right here. So once you click on that, it's going to download it, and it's going to be available for you to use. So this is what it actually looks like. So as you can see on this first tab, it lists all your income, all your expenses, and then your budget total, which allows you to compare it side by side. So you won't necessarily do anything on this page. You're going to start filling it out on this second tab right here, which is your income. So your income can come from financial aid, your job income, family contribution, and other income. So there's instructions listed right here for you to find out how much financial aid you have, and you can plug those numbers in right here. Job income, this, as you can see, you can select if you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Let's say that Louis Lobo gets paid bi-weekly, and over here you're going to list your paycheck amount. So this is how much is actually deposited in your bank account every 2 weeks. So let's say Louis Lobo gets $358. So it's going to calculate your semesterly net pay. And this is just something that it's going to plug back into this sheet. So again, this is going to automatically fill the blanks as you go through these different tabs. Family contribution, other income, this is just something you can list right here if you have any of those. So this kind of summarizes all your income. The second tab right here is going to begin your expenses. So the reason that we have savings and other personal goals listed first is because we truly believe that you should mark yourself as a bill and pay yourself first. So a lot of students, what they end up doing is they'll have their income, they'll allocate it towards all their expenses, and then whatever's left over is what they'll end up saving, which usually is not that much. But instead, if you mark yourself as a bill, then you're going to tell your brain to definitely save that much every month. So you can, it doesn't have to be super big. It can be as small as $30 a month, and then it's going to calculate that semesterly rate for you and plug it back into that first sheet. You can also set other personal goals. So this can be stuff that you have goals for yourself in the future that you need to start saving for them now. So let's say you want to buy a car and you realize that you need to start saving at least $100 a month now so you can buy a car by the time you graduate. So again, it's going to calculate that semesterly rate. The next tab is educational expenses. So this is where you'll start seeing all those expenses related to UNM students. So tuition is the first one. It's super easy. You have to just select from the drop down. Let's say you're a resident who's taking 15 credit hours, and it's going to pull up that tuition rate for you. You can do the same for fees, tuition differential, upper division premium, course fees, books and course materials, stuff like that. Again, you will see all of these expenses also listed on your My UNM, so you can either fill this out here or just use those numbers to plug them in here, whatever works best for you. The next one is college specific expenses. So if you're living on campus, you can use this room and board feature. So let's say you're living in Coronado Hall. It says that that's a traditional hall type. So a traditional hall, let's say you're living in a single occupancy, so that's going to be $2,895, which you're going to plug in right here. Again, this might sound a little complicated right now, but there's instructions for all of this listed right here. So it'll be super easy for you to use. The next thing is parking. So if you have a parking permit, you can just select, let's say you decide to park at South Lot. Technically, you wouldn't be living on campus, but hypothetically, if you wanted to park at South Lot, that's how much it's going to cost you. Greek life expenses, on-campus food plan, other food options, stuff like that. You have an opportunity to fill those out right here. Finally, the other expenses tab. So this is one of the most comprehensive tab, which you should spend the most time filling out. So the first few line items here are related to off-campus, people who are living off campus. So obviously if you're living on campus, you'll just go ahead and skip through these. But right here, you're gonna see a lot of expenses related to items that are considered wants. So Adam kind of talked about this, but this is not stuff that you necessarily need to survive, but stuff that you want. So coffee, restaurants, entertainment, stuff like that. So again, these are small expenses that add up to a lot, and we don't necessarily think to budget for these, but at the end of the month, you realize that this adds up to quite a bit. So it's important that you set this in your budget so that way you know that you're budgeting for these and have money saved for this. Once you fill all this out, you have the option to go back and look at the overview sheet. Obviously, it's going to be have a lot more information than this because I didn't fill the entire thing out, but you look at this budget total and it's going to be either a positive number or a negative number. So in this case, as you can see, it's negative $2,000, which obviously probably wouldn't be your case. But if it is, then that means that your expenses exceed your income. If that's the case, then it's important for you to go back and find ways to either increase your income. So one of the easiest ways to do that is to either apply for a scholarship or get a job. But if you find that that's not something you can really do, then it's time to look at your expenses and find ways to cut back on those. And one of the first few places that you would want to do that is this other expenses tab where you have all these wants listed. So maybe you consider not getting a gym membership and using Johnson Gym because that's something that's paid with your student fees. Or maybe you consider not traveling as much. On the other hand, if you find that this number is positive and that you have a lot more income than expenses, that means it's a really great thing, but you should build that into your savings. So that way you don't just end up spending that money on stuff you don't necessarily need. So maybe instead of saving $100 a month for your car, maybe you can afford to spend $250 and you can plug that in. So our goal here is to get this number as close to $0 as possible. So once you do that, that means that you have a plan. So now you know where exactly your income is coming from and where you're going to spend it. And now all you have to do is stick to it, which might be the hard part, but at least you know what's going on. Oops.
Yeah.
There we go.
So that's great. Another cool thing about the budget sheet, while we're still on that, is it's constantly updated. We're able to update it, every semester. And if and when your UNM tuition does change, we're able to go in and change that for you. So it's always going to be on top of it, and you'll be able to use it knowing that you have the accurate numbers for that UNM year. But while we're talking about budgets, this is a great way to get started. Maybe you need a little bit more help in the middle, or maybe you want help tracking through the semester. The Mint app is another great way to do that. So what you can do is if you download the Mint app and if you're comfortable, you can connect your bank account to it. And what the Mint app will do is it'll kind of like be like monitoring. It'll be like some overarching thing that just looks at it, right? It just looks at your bank account, and whenever you spend money, it'll categorize what you spend on. So, let's say you go to Starbucks, right? It'll see that at Starbucks, and it'll categorize, oh, that's coffee, I'll put it there. And the cool thing is that you can go into budgets in the Mint app, and you can set up the budgets like you have them set up in your budget sheet, and you can set it up, every month, hey, this is how much I need to spend or how much I want to spend in this category, and then just starts your normal spending. And Mint will do is they'll see, oh, you start spending this. So let's say you spent $50 for your limit for coffee for the month, and then Mint sees that you spent $48. So maybe it's just the first 2 weeks. Mint will send you like a little notification, or it'll have it in the app telling you, hey, you're getting really close to your limit on this. So it helps keep you in track because it lets you know what you're getting too close to spending on or other areas that you could work on. Another cool thing about Mint is it has a lot of different options based on, hey, it can see how much money you're bringing in altogether and how much you're spending altogether. So you can see, am I making money or am I constantly spending more than I earn? And you can change maybe those habits. Another great feature about Mint is you can sign up and it can help you track your credit score. It'll help you with an estimation and help you track like good habits and stuff that makes your credit score even better. Mint is an all-around good financial app to use.
Sweet. So the Center for Financial Capability can help you with a lot more than just budgeting. I know that's primarily what we talked about today, but it's important to go in with a plan. But we don't stop there, right? So Adam will talk a little bit more about how else we can help you.
Yeah, one of the biggest things we do here at the Center for Financial Capability is workshops. We offer about 4 of these a semester, and these workshops cover a variety of different topics. Budgeting, like we just talked about, is one of them. You could also learn about credit, how to build credit, what even is credit, investing. Maybe you want to learn a bit more about investing and like how to get involved in investing. Maybe you have debt. Maybe you're about to graduate. We offer workshop based on debt and like how to handle debt and different methods to pay off debt. Another cool thing about our workshops is if you attend one of our workshops, there's a financial relief aspect to it. So you come hang out with us. Maybe you ask a couple questions. Maybe you just sit there and listen, and you are automatically entered in a $100 scholarship drawing. This drawing is not any kind of merit-based or needs-based. It's just based on the fact that you were there. And you may be able to go home winning $100.
Sweet. So the one-on-one financial consultations. So this is your opportunity to sit down one-on-one with a certified financial coach and ask them about any financial literacy topics under the sun. So you looked at this presentation and you're thinking, that budget sheet is really scary, but it's something I really want to do. So you can come into our office, sit down one-on-one with the coach, and they can walk you through filling out that budget sheet. You might also be thinking that I want to explore things about credit and I want to start building credit, but I don't exactly know enough. Again, you can sit down one-on-one with us and we can teach you the basics about credit and even help you find a credit card that's best suited for you. So there's, again, a lot of there's a really big scope for what we can do here. And you can find a link to sign up for these on our website. And basically you just put down times that you're available and someone from our office will get back to you with the time that works for both of you.
Yeah, so we also recognize that times are hard. And so another thing that we can do is anything that we can offer pretty much in person, we can also offer over Zoom or video chat. So a lot of these services now, you can still schedule with us and we're able to meet with you through video and can still give you that help you need until we're able to meet again in person. Another great thing we offer is tax assistance. Taxes are probably one of like the scariest things I ever heard about when I came to college. I didn't know how to do them. I didn't know what they were. I knew if I did it right or if I was lucky, I'd get money. But you come talk to us and you learn, not only do we do your taxes for you and we are certified through VITA, but we're also able to sit down and walk you through what we're actually doing and explain to you everything in the moment that we're doing. So when you hit a point where, you're graduating, congratulations for those, then you'll recognize that you may not be able to use our services anymore, but you'll have the tools that you need to be able to either do your taxes yourself or at least know what you need and know where you need to go to get your taxes done.
Right. And then finally, we offer additional resources. So this is primarily through our website and our social media. So on our website, like I mentioned, you can find the budget sheet, but there's also some helpful resources like a listing of all scholarships that UNM offers, or just a tip of the week, which we try to update every week. And it's just something helpful that every UNM student could learn. On our social media, we post helpful articles, tips and tricks. Sometimes we post memes just to keep it a little lighthearted and make financial literacy a little bit more fun. We also reshare resources from other departments on campus. For example, Lobo Food Pantry is a resource on our campus where you can get free groceries twice a month. And again, it's not need-based or anything. You're simply accessible to that if you're a UNM student. So again, I would highly encourage that you check out our social media, which is listed right here. Instagram and Twitter, it's just UNMCFC. Or another great way to reach us is on via our email, which is cfc@unm.edu, and we can help you throughout your next 4 years at UNM.
Yeah, we know that college can be a scary place. A lot of you are new to the university, and in general, this is a big life change for you. So just know that we are here to help you. We are also students. If you ever need anything, reach out to us. We have a lot of knowledge, not just about financial literacy, but about UNM in general. Hope you all have a great day, and it was great talking to you.
Yeah, go Lobos.